So sitting comfortably with your feet close to your hips, your shoulders low from your ears, your back feeling lifted, your front and back body even, and your face relaxed. Recognize the position of your hands and the position of those two fingers lightly touching. The heart is open and your breath is smooth. With each breath that you take, allow the inhale to bring your attention into the position and into the moment. And as you exhale, surrender to the breath, the sensations through the body, and the commitment to your practice. As you follow each breath, recognize the soft inhale and the long exhale, the sensations in the body, the rhythm of each breath. As you exhale your next breath, turn your palms down, keeping the thumb and index fingers touching. Relax your shoulders away from your ears, broaden the chest without arching your back. Follow the breath. Feel the space of the heart, center of the chest, open and awake. With each breath you take, recognize, feel your heart energy. Exhaling your next breath to release your fingers onto your knees. Good. And then just gently look over your left shoulder. Slide your left hand towards your hip. Inhale to center, return your hand to your knee, and exhale to the right with your right hand sliding towards your hip. Inhale, center, hand to knee, again to the left. And as you turn one more to the right, you're feeling a little bit of a push through that left hand to the leg. One more to the left, and we'll finish off with one more to the right. Exhale. Come back to center. Exhale to draw your chin down and round out your back. Inhale to lift your chest. Look up, broaden the chest, drop your shoulders. Keep your hands at your knees, round out your back. Move slowly into each side of this movement or pose. Each time you lift your chin and chest, allow there to be a nice wide space and a recognition of the heart, lifting the eyes open or closed. And when you tuck in the chin, just feel how you can sink in comfortably to relax your back. Notice how the shoulders respond to each side of this movement. Dragging the shoulders down as you look up and gently rolling them forward as you look down. One more to each side. As you finish off by tucking the chin in, down, sit back up to center. Take your fingers off to the floor, just outside of your hips, and then slide them away. Push down into your fingertips and feel a little taller as you push down. You're settling your shoulders and extending the spine and the back body. And then relax. Left arm comes up. Walk your right hand away from your hip and give a little stretch to that one side. Your lifted arm reaching. Try to keep the elbow straight and a nice stretch from the armpit to the tricep. Now, instead of lifting back up to center, take your left hand down onto your right knee, turn towards that leg, and slide your right hand behind you for a twist. Look over the shoulder. You'll exhale to come back to center. Good. Roll both shoulders up. Good. Drop your fingers to the floor. Arms out, fingers down. Push down into the fingers and just feel that you can lift yourself a little longer so you don't feel collapsed down through the spine or heavy in the chest or settled too heavy into the hips. You feel lifted and long. Release. Right arm goes up and over. Nice side stretch. Move your left hand a little further away to get the space, and your top right hand palm is facing down. Try your very best to straighten your elbow and move from your armpit to your tricep so you feel that space is most effective. When you exhale, turn yourself towards your left knee, drop your hand, lift and turn your left hand behind you for your twist. So it won't take long to find it, and you already probably have. So as you find the twist position, don't feel you need to pull or push any further into it. Once you find the pose is when you start to find the breath. And just notice the subtlety of the position and body in the subtlety of your breathing. Good. As you exhale, return to center. Good. Hands into your lap, roll your shoulders up and back. Rest your hands on the outsides of your legs. Pull your knees together. Squeeze your legs in. And then I want you to uncross your feet. You'll see that I'm going to take one foot in front of the other. Just simply cross, hugging your legs. feet stay on the floor. Just wanted you to find that different position. And then relax your knees down and reset your feet in this position. Walk your hands forward. Look down between your hands, not towards your feet. This will ensure that you keep your back long and the forward movement of your body even. Now when we come into a forward bend like this, with our legs crossed towards our body, you might feel a little tension in the knees. If you start to feel a hint of tension or something unfamiliar that doesn't feel good, you'll walk your hands back a little bit to release some of that tension if there is any. Try to notice this in your lower back and your hips. We're going to walk our hands to the right. So just tiptoe your hands over to the right side of your mat, not too far, just enough to feel that the left side body is a little more reactive, or where there might be a nice stretch or a yawn. Take a breath and exhale to center. Walk to the left. Soft breath. And as you exhale, walk back to center. Walk your hands towards your feet. Roll yourself up nice and tall, shoulders up, back and down. Take your arms up, arms straight up over your head, reach up nice and high. So extend the elbows, relax your shoulders. If you feel your shoulders lifting into your ears and you feel congested around the shoulder tops, the neck and the ears or head, then you might just be tight in the back of the arms or in the upper back. Bend at your elbows if you're able to, and bring your hands down behind your head. If that's too much pull, or if it leans you forward, then just bring your arms back up to center. From this position, interlace your fingers behind your head, and if your arms are up, just interlace and bring your hands behind your head and point your elbows out. Squeeze in the shoulder blades. When you exhale, you'll pull your elbows together and tuck your chin to your chest with a little upper back rounding. So not a full rounded back, just the upper back feels wide. Inhale, open. Open the heart, open the armpits and the elbows out, and then squeeze gently in, just enough to wake up and round out your upper back. Inhale, open. You can even look up as you let your head rest into your hands and open up the underarms, and then squeeze in. Repeat this a couple times. So find that movement here in our upper torso, basically between the shoulder blades, across the upper chest, armpits and elbows, neck and head. One more. Once you lift up tall, extend out your arms, palms down. Good. And then turn your thumbs to the floor so that your shoulder, upper shoulder, and your upper arm kind of roll in. So you kind of hunch in a little bit, but try to avoid the hunching of the upper body, just the rolling of the arm and the thumb points down. And then we turn our arms up and turn your inner elbows to the ceiling and stretch out your fingers and feel your shoulder blades now as you move your shoulder blades by moving your arms. Exhale, point your thumbs down or back and just feel that broadening in the upper back. And then palms are up as you breathe here and you feel the shoulder blades sinking. So a movement like this, when we're in Warrior 2, you get the extension of the arms from your body, but we don't often or typically find that we want to move our arms in that pose. So you get the idea here how you have that mobility in your shoulders, in your upper back, and even across the chest. One more movement. It's a great massage for the shoulder area and upper back. Take your fingers to your shoulder tops and circle your elbows. Let this be a very smooth movement, nothing that a struggle for your shoulders. Point your elbows in, point them down, out, and up. So let this be a very comfortable or organic movement for your upper torso, shoulders, and arms. Good. Once you bring your elbows forward, extend your arms out, palms together. Good. And then turn your palms down so your fingers point toward, your thumbs point towards the floor. Inhale, both arms up. Back of the hands try to touch. And then down, all the way to the feet. Turn your palms in. Good. Inhale all the way up. And down, straight down to the feet. As they touch down, turn your thumbs down, back of the hands together, and again, all the way up. Big breath, right from the armpits to the triceps, and then down. And we'll do that one more time. Switch, palms in, breath in, breath out. Good. Turn your palms out. Inhale, last one. Good. Once your hands touch the floor, bring your hands to your knees, and we're going to take a couple circles in one direction, just to remind us of our hips and our legs. Your hands are on your knees, and just recognize the touch of your hand on your leg. No massage, just the connection of skin to skin or hand to your leg. Change the direction when you sink to one side, and we'll go the other way. Our hands are filled with intelligence. When you use your hands to understand how you move your body, you'll understand how the rest of the body works. Good. We use our hands back to center to bring our knees together. Squeeze. And then from here, we're just going to give the outer thighs in this position a little stretch for the outer hip and the lower back and the sacrum as you bind your knees together. Now, without lifting your feet too high, just uncross your feet and drag them forward. Press out through your heels, nice and tall. You can pull yourself off of your block. I'm going to. If you're comfortable on your seat or the cushion or what you're using, that's good too. So you're pushing out through your legs. Point your toes forward. Sit as tall as you can. Imagine I always say that, a wall being pressed up against your back. So that'll encourage you to sit nice and tall from head to tail. Point your toes up, point your toes forward, pardon me. Point your toes, flex the ankles, and feel not just the ankles and the feet and the toes adjusting, but feel the muscles that run down your legs. The front of your legs, your kneecaps, the hamstrings, the calves. Hands stay here. Good. And then once you point your toes up, pull your left foot in and lower your left knee to the floor and glue that left foot into the right thigh. Sit nice and tall, and we're going to turn our chest towards that right knee. So instead of facing forward, just turn a little bit towards that leg and then exhale and reach forward. Look down at your big toe, notice your foot is still flexed, and slide your hands down the leg towards your ankle, your lower shin, or even reach for the bottom of your foot. I know you can all do this easily. This is a familiar pose that you're used to doing. As you extend through your heel, you're lifting up through your back body. Your body, your torso, your spine feels lifted and long as you try to encourage the space with each breath through that right leg. Inhale to slowly lift up. Good. Both hands to your right side. Put your left hand on your outer right leg. Sweep your left hand, sweep your right hand behind you, and we turn to the right. Just a little tiny side twist here, looking over your shoulder or the side of the room. Make sure that your right leg is strong. Your left hand is somewhere on that outer thigh. And you're using your right hand behind you to set yourself up tall so you don't sag in your lower back. Take another breath. Exhale, come back to center. Pull the knee in and the leg out. Hands on thighs, point your toes to the ceiling. Sit your lower back forward. Find the top of the sit bones. Point your toes. Really strengthen up the back of the legs. Feel that energy in the back of the legs. A nice stretch here. And then condense. Pull up the toes. Feel very firm here. As you exhale, your right foot comes in. The knee goes down. And you glue the foot into the inner thigh. So you're facing forward, but you're going to turn slightly so that you can identify where that knee is. Your chest wants to reach for the knee eventually. When you start to exhale, you're lifting and you're lengthening and you're sliding yourself towards your thigh. Your head reaches towards your foot and your hands reach wherever they can go. And then pause when you're there and then identify what this is. Identify your breath, your pose, your legs, your back, and your hips. Feel the length and the ease that comes with each breath. Take this time in this pose to notice how you can adjust yourself. Feel the body, scan the body. Understand the sensation of the breath. As you exhale, lift up, brings you nice and tall. And then our right hand on left leg, left hand behind you, look to your side or over your shoulder and find the rotation. Using your right hand against your left thigh as a bit of an anchor. So you have some structure there to find a bit more rotation or sensation in your pose. All right, when you exhale, come back to center. Knee comes up and down, leg is straight. Good, tap out your feet, tap out your heels, tap out your legs, give them a slap on the floor. I'm going to turn side lengthwise on the mat. If you're not already, you want to find yourself lengthwise. Both arms lift up, a little bit more dynamic here. As you exhale, reach forward. So push through your heels and lengthen your body over your legs as far as you can comfortably reach. Inhale, up. Exhale, forward. Inhale with core and back strength. Exhale with ease in the back of the legs and strengthen your thighs. So when you lift up, you use your backside, you use your lower back, and you use your core. When you come forward, you're giving those muscles some length and some firming of the quadricep. The muscles that are strong here are in your legs as you lean forward. Last lift, inhale up. Release your arms, bring your hands to the floor. Take your hands behind you and then lift off of your feet, cross your ankles, and we're going to roll over onto our hands and knees. In your tabletop, place your hands right below your shoulders. Extend your left leg back, toes to the floor. Give a little stretch to the back of that leg. Press down through your arms and pull in your shoulders and your shoulder tops. Your right foot is going to kickstand off to the side, turning to the left as your left arm and your left leg lift off the floor. Reach up. Bend your left knee and reach for the foot with your hand. Draw the heel towards your hip, draw the thigh back, and wake up the front of the pelvis, the tummy, the shoulder and chest. Get a good grip of that foot with your hand. Keep your head centered between your shoulders without tipping or lifting. When you exhale, release your foot, extend your leg and lift up your arm. Now keep your leg extended from your hip and lower your left arm over your ear. So you're creating a nice horizontal line from your hand to your foot. Remember that your lower arm, your right arm and shoulder are secure and strong. Lower down your foot, turn gently to the floor, touch down, settle back onto both knees and hands, cat and cow. Good. Tabletop, reset your hands, notice your shoulders, and slide your right leg and foot back. Toes to the ground. Give a little stretch into the back of the leg. Your right foot kicks out to the side, turn to the right, your arm and leg lifting. Now, already in this position, you're trying to broaden and open and extend and widen the chest space, the hip space, that lifted thigh, right thigh. You'll reach for your foot, bend the knee, and grab. Now from here, manage this balance first. First thing first, balance first, and then try to widen or open the front of your body. Notice that your head feels even between your shoulders, head and spine. Balance first, waking up the chest and front body second. That's your profile of attention. Strengthening the arm here. Strengthening that top right glute. Stretching the thigh. Engaging the navel as it naturally finds its own reflex to find the strength in your balance. Good. Notice that your lower arm is still strong and you haven't let your lower shoulder, your left shoulder, pull up to your ear. Tuck the shoulder down. That'll work the muscles to keep you balanced. We release. Extend. Arm over ear. Slowly lower your toes, look to the ground, touch down. Tabletop, cat pose. Good. Cow pose, looking forward. Round out your back to cat and then sink into child's pose. Taking a few breaths here. Notice the temperature of the body, the sensation in your back and your shoulders. Wiggle out your fingers. I know that was a lot of work for your hands and your fingers and your wrists. But so just give them a breather. Feel the breath touching the wrists, the fingers, Stretch them out, then soften them in. Stretch them open, then soften them in. We're going to sit up onto our knees. Slide your hands in below your shoulders. Roll your body up onto your knees. Our shoulders roll up and back. So here, facing forward, the end of your mat, across the room, close your eyes and let your arms rest right down beside your torso. So don't let your arms be hanging loose. Kind of grip them into your sides so you can understand where they are from the shoulders to the forearms to the fingers. And there's going to be a little bit of movement here as your body is adjusting to balancing on your knees. Relax your shoulders, extend the back of your neck, understand the balance coming from your feet, knees, and hips, from your glutes to your hamstrings to your quadriceps. As you exhale, let your right hand slide down your leg towards the floor. See if you can touch the mat right beside the knee. Exhale to squeeze and lift up. Other side. Left hand to the floor. Try to touch it with your finger right next to the knee. Inhale. Exhale, touch down to downward dog. In downward dog, check that your feet are lined up, hip width apart and parallel evenly. Sink down through your outer ankles. So just feel your outer ankles, your outer heels reaching to the floor. Good. Lift your heels high off the ground. Roll onto the ball of your toes, and as you get as high as you can through your heels, bend your knees towards your tummy. Press your tailbone up so you adjust your pelvis to be a little more higher to create more length in your lower back. Spread your fingers. Keep your upper arms, biceps rolling forward towards the front of the room or up towards the ceiling. When you exhale, sink your heels and straighten out your legs. Feel the length in your back. Separate your feet wide apart and then walk your hands towards your feet. As you drop your heels, climb your hands down the mat. Drop your heels, drop your bottom, bend at your knees, and fold over your legs. Your feet are as wide as your yoga mat, so you have a little bit more spacing for balance. Now drag your hands through your legs. Wrap your hands around your lower legs, calves, or even your feet, and drop your bottom just a little bit. Look forward. Inhale to lift your hips, look through your legs, and try to straighten your legs up. Now, this might be a challenge for some, so notice that you don't have to lift your hips to overly straighten your legs. If it means you're a little bit dropped down, that's okay. When you exhale, again, drop your bottom, come into a little deep squat and try to wrap your hands around your legs, outside of your legs or your feet. And then again, exhale to lift the hips as closely to the ceiling as you can. Drop down, exhale. Exhale and lift. Really firm up your thighs. Find your balance through your toes and heels. Again, we'll do that one more time. When you drop down, try to extend your spine and lift up. When you lift your hips, use your thighs, use your quads. Firm up your upper legs. Thighs are firm.
Release your hands from where they are. Walk your hands forward to downward dog. Bring your feet back into center, hip width apart. Begin to lean forward into a plank. Drop your knees, child's pose. Good. Slide your hands to your knees and stand up onto your knees. Squeeze to lift.
Bring your arms back behind you just a little bit so your hands are further away from your bottom, and then just squeeze your upper back. Feel the arms pulling into the ribs and the upper back muscles firming together. So you feel there's a little bit of like you're holding two weights in your hands and you're trying to extend them up a little bit, but they won't go. When you exhale, bring your arms forward and sit down. Inhale, stand tall and push. Look straight across the room and squeeze your upper back. Firm up your triceps. Inhale, sit down. Exhale, squeeze to lift. Inhale, sit down, arms out. Squeeze your glutes, squeeze your upper back. Soften. Squeeze. Exhale. Inhale. Squeeze. When you lift yourself up and you exhale, notice that it's a nice, slow, comfortable movement. Nothing forced, nothing sharp. You're enjoying that extension and that energy before inhaling to sit back down. One more, two more. Let's do two more. Here's one, and two, good. Onto the floor, all fours, downward dog with your legs together. Lift your right leg up. Look down to your left foot. Try to draw your tummy to your thigh, head between arms. Press into your fingers. Slowly draw the right knee in towards your tummy. Keep your position of downward dog, but just pull that knee in tight. Round out the back a little bit. Try to really firm up your tummy. Squeeze. And then push the foot back up to the ceiling. Keep your shoulders square to the mat. Keep your hips even. Don't overlift that right side. And don't look underneath your right arm. Keep your eyes focused down. Exhale to lower your foot. Left leg goes up. Press through your hands. Push up through the leg. Broaden the upper back by turning your biceps up and thumbs down. Good. Exhale. Take your left knee to your tummy. Curl in like a cat pose. Tuck in, squeeze those muscles. Push down into your hands. Push down into your hands. Extend the leg. Foot to the floor, knees to the floor, child's pose, and rest. Turn your palms up and wiggle out your fingers. Good. With your palms down, spread open your fingers, and then use your core and your upper back to pull you into tabletop. So understand what pulls you up into your table. Squeeze to lift. Downward dog. Legs together. Lift up your right leg. Step your foot between your hands into a lunge. Reset yourself and press through your left heel. Keep your chest lifted, your neck, head centered and long. Good. Lower down onto your left knee. Bring your arms back behind you. Join your hands behind you and do the slow lunge. And look straight across the room. Set your body up nice and straight as you pull your shoulders down from your ears and use your hands together to bring in the upper arms. So the shoulders drop, the chest broadens without a back bend here. No back bend, just a nice chest opener and a nice strength for your arms. Now we're going to stay here in this position, except I want you to lean forward. So you're here in your legs, hips and feet, knees, as you tip forward. Lift your arms up a little higher. Squeeze those muscles. Squeeze in your upper arms. Get as much work there as you can comfortably find. And then release. Sit back up. Release your arms up over your head. Stretch open your fingers. Sink your hips forward. Keep your front right knee over your ankle without arching your back. We go into a twist. Turn to your right, drop your left arm over the thigh, and sweep out your right hand into your lower back. Press your left arm down into your leg so you don't collapse through that side and you create more space for your twist. When you exhale, gently return to center, drop your hands, step back to downward dog. Pedal out your heels. Press into your thumbs, the heels of your hands. Breathing through your nose as you move up and down the heels. Good. Exhale onto your knees. Child's pose. You can turn your palms up and wiggle out your fingers. Relax into your hips. Settle through your shoulders and your back. Good. With your palms down, spread open your fingers. We lift up to all fours in downward dog. Remember, your core helps you to lift here. In downward dog, lift up your left leg and step the foot forward to a lunge. Stay low, fingers on the ground. Lift up your chest and press through your right heel. Keep your shoulders down from your ears so you can extend the size of your neck and feel confidence through the chest. Exhale to lower your right knee to the floor, and then bring your arms beside you and we sit up tall. Grab the fingers, join your hands, and pull your shoulders down. So we're not lifting the arms off the back, we're just trying to encourage space from one collarbone to the other, from one shoulder top to the other. Notice your left foot flat to the floor, stable with your knee over the ankle. Your body hasn't created a back bend, you're just encouraging a broadening of the shoulders and the chest. When you start to exhale, we lean forward. Now lift the arms away from your back. Roll in the upper arms. Find the level of tension that feels comfortable and manageable. Breathing through the nose. Good. When you exhale, sit back up, release your arms. Hands up over your shoulders, nice and tall. We turn to the left, dropping your right arm and scooping your left hand into your lower back or to the hip. Rotation. Continue to sink your hips forward. Keep that space through the pelvis. Your right arm attaches to your left thigh or leg so you can get some momentum in rotation that's not stressful, but comfortable and an intensity that feels good. As you exhale, return to center. Touch down to step back to dog. Pedal out your feet. Let's float forward into plank. Downward dog. Walk your feet to the center of your mat. Take one big step forward to the middle of your mat. And then roll yourself up with bent knees. Push down into the floor as you carefully stand up. Once you're up, you're facing the short end of the front end of your mat. Bring your feet together, hands at your heart. And we take the right foot from the floor and just point the knee out and press the foot against your inner lower leg. Tree pose. Relax your shoulders. Find your breath. Begin to point your right knee forward. Bring your hands down in towards your hips and then reach for that knee. Grab hold of the knee with your right hand and extend your left arm out to your side. Hang on to that right knee. Keep your eyes steady on one spot. Continue to manage your balance, and if you're able to, gently bring the knee out to the side using your hand. Bring your left arm in, forward, with your right knee coming in. Lower your foot, lift up both arms, legs together. Arch your back just a little bit, push into your feet, hands to the heart. Okay, the other leg, I'm going to turn towards you, give you a perspective. Left foot out, knee points out. This just helps your hip kind of rotate out so you can adjust your foot evenly. Bring the foot in where it needs to go and find your balance. Carefully draw your left knee in and up. Take the knee with your left hand, right arm out to your side. Manage this first. And if you feel the space is available, come back to center. Touch down with your foot, both arms up. Reach for the ceiling, arch your back a tiny bit to the heart. Step back to the end of your mat so you can see where your front mat end of your mat is. We're going to come into downward dog. Exhale, fold forward. Bend at the knees, walk forward, climb up the mat, downward dog. Notice where your feet are, hip width apart, maybe a little bit wider. We're going to pretend we're climbing up and down a ladder. So you're going to crawl your hands or climb your hands down the ladder, down the mat, until they come to your feet. Once they come to your feet, crouch down and roll up. Standing tall, As soon as you come up to this position, you want to feel you're being clung into a wall, so you're being stuck to a wall, so get the energy of pulling back. We're going to go back into dog, and we're going to come back to here. Only to here is where we stand. Exhale, sit down, climb yourself up the ladder, up the mat. Find your dog, lift up the core, press through your heels. Your head is centered with your arms. And then walk your hands down. Climb down the mat, bend in the knees, and roll up. Exhale, sit down and climb up. Lift up your core, turn up your inner arms. Walk your hands down, sit down, and roll up. Nice and tall. Last one. From downward dog, walk back. Nice and tall. Good. And again, dropping down. This time I want you to walk down onto your hands and knees, not to a dog. Scoop your feet to one side, and we'll come right onto our bottom. Hands behind the back of the legs. Lean away from your thighs to lift up your back. Pull your chest open, pull your lower back forward, and then balance off of your feet. The more you can find your sit bones, and it's okay to let your feet drop or alternate the heel touch of the heel to the floor, or just find yourself wobbling. Lean forward before you lean back. So always pull the chest up. You're intentionally trying to lean forward into your front sit bones or towards your feet. Try to let that be your focus. Instead of feeling vulnerable in the back, feel open in the back, strong through the chest, and working from the core. That'll bring you always back to your feet rather than falling back. And it'll strengthen those muscles that hold you here. If you're able and willing and wanting, push your feet forward and then up. Roll your shoulders down, broaden your chest, and pull your chest forward by using your hands against the back of your thighs. As you exhale, we'll bend at the knees, bring the bottoms of your feet together, and then we lean forward. Hang on to your toes and reach your body through your legs. Inhale to lift. Bring your hands back behind you. Move your feet forward. Move your hips with them so you have space behind you to roll onto your mat. And then just sink yourself down. Keep your legs apart. Roll your body down. And once you come to the floor, reset your hips or your feet so you feel comfortable in your pelvis. And rest your hands on your inner thighs. Don't push your hands down against your legs. Just allow the weight of your hands and the position of your legs to join. As you exhale, bring your legs together with your hands on the outer thighs. Knees into the chest. Give your legs a squeeze. And then move your knees over your hips and lift your feet up. Arms up. We've done this before where we lift our head, our shoulders, and we look straight up through the arms. Don't look forward to your knees. Don't do that because you'll round your back.
Use your abdominals to lift up. Exhale. Inhale, lower the shoulders and head. Reach straight up. Condense the abdominals. Use the exhale. You can allow your chin to tuck in a little bit to protect your neck, but keep your eyes up to the ceiling so that you don't tend to round. If you look forward, you might round your back, and I want you to keep as straight in the back as possible. That will work the core a little bit more. Bring your knees together if you can, a little closer. Last one more here. Once you lower down, lift up your legs, hold on to the back of your legs, and draw your legs towards you. See your feet go over your head to the other end of the mat. Feel your tailbone and your sacrum leaving the floor. And then gently roll into the back, hips, lower your feet. Hands beside your hips for bridge. Inhale to lift, squeeze your glutes, press through your feet, and tuck up your tailbone. Find the focus more so on lifting the tailbone up through the legs, rather than overarching your lower back. Hold the pose, find your toes, find your fingers, find the length of your neck. And slowly down. Bring your legs close together, and we'll do this again, and we'll lift one foot and then the other, and then we'll return to the floor. Inhale, lift. Push through your arms and your right foot as you take your left foot off the floor. Squeeze your right buttock. Feel the energy that you're creating. Touch down. Lift the right. Feel the left. Lower the right, lift the left, feel the right. Again, feel the energy of the supporting leg and hip. The buttock, the hamstring, the lower back, your arms and your shoulders alternate. I know I said we were going to drop down, but I think this is manageable for most of you. You can always rest to the floor. One more to each. Bring your mental awareness to each leg that's supporting you off the ground. Once you have both feet on the floor, separate your feet and roll into the back. Bring your right knee to your chest. Switch over to the opposite leg. And we'll switch again. Good, and one more switch, hands over. Lower that foot. Arms reach out to the ground. Separate your feet wide. Move your feet forward a little bit more so that your feet are no longer in line or below your knees. Your feet are that much more forward. And then slowly tip your knees to each side like windshield wipers. Slowly. Don't let this be a fast movement. Let it be a very controlled, slow, and releasing movement. Recognize your outer hips. When you have yourself tip to one side. Let that inside knee, the one reaching for the opposite foot, let that knee kind of drag forward just to lengthen out the hip crease on that same leg. So there's more of an extension through the top of the thigh and the hip and pelvis. And then switch. You'll notice that as you tip, you let your inside knee reach a little further forward. That broadens the top of the thigh and the hip flexors, like you'd be doing a very mild lunge. And switch. I'll let you go side to side a couple times. Take your time. Feel each side of this movement, either side of your body, each leg. Relax your mouth. Relax and close your eyes. Okay, when you are ready, bring yourself back to your center position and walk your legs together, feet together. Drop your knees out, bottoms of the feet touch, and then keep your legs apart as you slide your feet together forward to the end of the mat, bringing your legs eventually together. Good. Push out through your heels, point your toes to the ceiling. Relax, pull one foot in and then the other. And again, drop your legs apart, knees down, feet together, and do it again. Extend. Press out through your heels when you get there. Drag them in. And again, slide them forward. Once you have your legs down, press out through your heels and relax your feet, your knees, your thighs, and your hips. If you like to use props, find something to support the legs or lift your legs off the floor, or something for your head, or an eye pillow, or a blanket. As we settle into Shavasana, Allow your breathing to stay soft and slow and quiet. Noticing areas of your body to stay calm and quiet. Relaxing the mouth and the eyes, the jaw and the chest. Take another 3 breaths to remind you of your position, comfort level. And begin to find small movements in your hands, your feet, your head. If you're ready to bring your knees in, giving your legs a small hug, a short hug. And when you feel ready, roll to your right to bring yourself up. Relaxing longer and staying in Shavasana for as long as you feel you need. And then when you're ready, sitting quietly. With hands to your heart. May we be filled with loving kindness and may we be well. May we be safe and calm. May we be happy and healthy. Namaste.